Inventor or Inventor has like 2024 new features. Then there is some patches like 2024.1, 2024.2, 2025. Is it? Now, the latest enhancement, what we have is about like 142 enhancement in Inventor Pro. Okay, whether it may be on like sheet metal, interoperability, like bringing like third-party CAD data or like Autodesk own data like Revit or rest of the things. So into like Autodesk Inventor, or it may be like few of the modeling enhancement. Either it may be like sheet metal assembly or into like documentation thing. Then graphic issues. Most of the time, whenever we have updates in operating system, there will be more we need to work on the hardware, especially on graphic. Is it? So all these issues has been addressed with 2025, and it is very smoothly running with operating system of 11. Okay. So let's see what are the details we have. That today's highlights topics will be on like sheet metal part modeling and assembly. So this is where actually most of the designers would like to look into. Is it? And most of the times, like part modeling, we have certain expectations in Inventor. Okay. But this version, like 2025, has like more enhancement compared to our previous version or previous released enhancement. Okay. Like in assembly, like minimum bounding cylinder area. So this was one quite challenger. Then we had like shrink wrap option. And even like most of the designers started using wherever they don't want to send the complete information on their assembly. So I want to like simplified integration manufacturing process information. Okay, like I want to define few of the manufacturing process thing with my part model. Even that can be done. So let's look into like deep dive of these new features. Then drawing enhancement has been done. Then the performance where actually we have like challenges when working with a larger assemblies. Like interoperability with the third-party CAD data or with like architectural data where we are doing few of the missions where an architect or a civil guys uses that comes under like BIM. Okay, that has been enhanced. IFC files from Revit using any CAD technology. IFC is one of the files from what do you call like Stat Pro? Is it? I want to bring it to Revit from Revit. I want to connect with like the complete modeling aspects with Inventor. Even that can be brought from any CAD. So in this, how many of you heard about any CAD inside Inventor part modeling? Kindly raise your hands on this, or else just type it your answers in the chat box. How many of you know like what is any CAD inside Autodesk Inventor Pro? Like bringing SolidWorks file, NX kit, yeah, changes done in SolidWorks is going to reflect in Inventor. That is what we call it as interoperability with any CAD data. How many of you know this any CAD data? Or as like linking my drawing files to Inventor, changes done in AutoCAD, drawing file is going to reflect in Inventor 3D model. How many of you know this? Okay, Harsha has raised the hand. I don't know like whether chat box is disabled for you guys, I think. Nobody's liking to participate in the chat box. The cause, Mr. Pavan, is the chat box is enabled for all the attendees? Hello? Hello? Pavan? Okay, something. Chat box is disabled. Thank you, Asha. Arsha, sorry. Okay, we'll use like Q&A only, probably with challenges in this organizing. Now, when we look into like enhancements, like general enhancement, so these are the things which will be applicable for the performance things. Okay. Now, selection highlights. Like I place my cursor, it should select like which body I can able to select. improve highlighting for round surfaces, especially like how there is a circular part where all it's moving in my entire larger assembly. So it will highlight. So line display improvements has been done. Customized color list can be done in 2025 and onwards. Now, general like prompt dimensions. Whenever I want to prompt certain dimensions in that, I can able to prompt this. Like, okay, this is there. I'm checking like what is this particular hole sizes. I need that has to be displayed for another next option, or else I want to display those options. I can able to prompt that. Okay, till I'm selling at like hide all prompts, it can be available in my port mode. And same phases, there is one phase where I am doing this decal improvements. Is it? Decal had like few challenges. Is it? That has been improved. And in the shared ways, I'm sharing my model in links. Okay. At that time, getting access to those files was quite challenging. There was like lagging that has been enhanced. Like what we have in sheet metal, like modernization of flange, face, and cut. Earlier, we used to get a small pop-up window. That if I check on like pop-up window, I like many options in that from 2025 onwards. And whatever the changes I want to do, everything is available in only one panel. If you observe this particular flange option, no, whether I want to increase like distance, direction, measurements was there. Is it? Now angle, there was only one option. Is it? And in the angle also, the placement, no, I can able to choose the required option. That is one thing. And the bend position. Is it? So we are requesting like bend position like as a preview, but I want to give certain distance there. Okay. So this was one of the maximum voted done in the portal by all the users. Like we need to have something similar to it should create a parameter on I need to have like control instead of using like 2, 3 comments. I want to finish the complete work in a single command. That has been done. Okay. And the theme support, dark and the light theme support in canvas manipulations. Like I'll get everything in one canvas so that everything I can cross verify in only one panel. Okay. Now I can show you these examples with a self-explanation video. Okay, let us play this for you.
Inventor 2025 introduces a modernized interface for designing sheet metal components, making the process more intuitive and efficient than ever before. This latest release boasts a sleek, user-friendly UI that streamlines the design workflows by placing tools in a logical order and making previously hard-to-find features readily accessible. A standout feature is the enhanced capability for direct manipulation and visualization of flanges, a pivotal element in sheet metal design. This allows designers to make on-the-fly adjustments with unprecedented ease, viewing changes in real time and applying commonly used presets to streamline your design process. This level of interactivity and control is a substantial leap forward, providing a more dynamic and responsive interface. The series of technical advancements we've added further edge out Inventor's new sheet metal capabilities over previous versions. An advanced profile detection method brings about a new level of accuracy and efficiency in recognizing and working with diverse profiles, mitigating the need for time-consuming manual corrections. We also improved the experience for creating multiple flange end sets within a single feature, eliminating the need to repetitively exit and re-enter the dialog box. The integration of face and flange features into the property panel offers a more organized and accessible platform for managing these critical components. These upgrades collectively enhance the software's usability, it reduces your design time, and increase overall productivity for professionals working with sheet metal components.
This is on the flange command, like offsetting the distance from the center. I want to lift the plans. Earlier, like till 2024, it was like quite challenging for us, offsetting the distance from left side or from the side B. So that has been enhanced. Now let us check on the part modeling option. Okay, like sketch pattern. So if I do a pattern in that, no, I want to suppress few of the things. It was like expand it, select the features and manually suppress it. Was it? Or else window selection was not there. It was like every time I need to pick all the profiles. That was enhanced in 2024, but what happens in 2025? Now in that area of a boundary extends, I want to select or deselect anything in that particular area. That can be done in the pattern selection. Okay. Geometry tracks with eye properties has to be displayed. That can be done. Okay. One more thing on the part modeling, pattern settings. Is it? So when I check on to like pattern settings, the boundary options we have added in the pop-up menu itself. Okay. So that including or enclosed geometry, I select it, everything in that particular area is going to select it. Okay. So base points inside the boundary also I want to select. Through one base point, I want to have that occurrence. I can mark a point from there, I can able to highlight my objects there. Okay, so this is what we have with the boundary options in the pattern. Okay. Again, I have attached a self-explanation video which explains you on this.
2D hole nodes have been updated to reflect these new hole types. The pattern creation process in Inventor has been modernized with the introduction of boundary patterns, featuring a refreshed user interface. This update enables users to generate patterns confined within specific boundaries, allowing for the definition of a region or an area to delineate where the pattern should apply. Any instances of the pattern extending beyond these boundaries are automatically.
See, I have selected this particular rectangular area as my boundary. I don't want the objects which is going out of that boundary. Okay. So, but I need like many occurrence there. So you can able to dynamically control that. Select a boundary. The objects which are written in the boundary, only those objects or appearance in your model.
Automatically suppressed, ensuring the inclusion of only pertinent instances. This boundary-driven patterning capability has also been extended into the sketch environment.
Either it's a 2D pattern or a 3D pattern, you can able to select that boundary.
2D.
Okay. And part modeling, finish features, is it? Like every time we used to say like okay, okay, and other things. Derive and made part, disable patterns, extended names, I want to check it. So even all the stuffs can be brought in a one pop-up menu. Like early time, we used to serve between one or two comments. That has been avoided. Okay. So before finishing any features, I can able to check whether the color thing I want to apply it or any properties I want to highlight the display. What usually we do. So appearances, I'm going to change the color. So like browsing every time that can be avoided in this pop-up menu itself. Okay, let's see what we have in this. So this is one of the self-explanation video which works.
Inventor 2025 continues to build on the momentum of the 2024 updates by introducing several significant enhancements to part modeling capabilities, particularly in the finish feature functionality.
So appearances, directly I can select here. Earlier it was we select here, go to that appearances on the fast accessing toolbar. There I'm going to select it now. So directly I can select here only now.
Finish feature simplifies the integration of manufacturing process information into models. Adjustments to features can now be made directly in Express mode for a faster, more efficient workflow. The update also improves iAssembly member synchronization, boosting assembly management.
So appearances has like polishing, I can able to highlight it. Then that can be brought into my documentation. Okay. Or else something like I want to do a painting, is it? Or else something I want to add a customization like chrome plating, all those stuffs can be done.
Management consistency. Additional improvements include the introduction of selection filters and toggles for managing finish parameters. The addition of the eyedropper tool now streamlines the application of finish attributes, enabling a quick pick up and apply workflow. We also have new include and exclude buttons, along with body and face filters to aid in user selection. Support for including these selections in derive operations, such as make part and make component, has been added, along with the ability to disable parameter controls to prevent unwanted parameters.
Now, earlier what we used to do is we create it as a new solid in the Boolean operation of every feature. Then we used to take this make part or make component, which is available in the manage option of Inventor part mode. Now, evenly those things I can able to access in the same pop-up menu. Okay.
Parameter generation. You can also now quickly access the XML library folder for administrative adjustments and modifications.
Now, in terms of like minimum bounding and cylindrical part driven. So drive parts is one of the option usually where we take either an assembly or a part for the reference to create one more related part. Whether that has to be as a single part, whether it has to be like bounded into one particular solid, that has we can able to create that. Now let's see what the new we have in this. One thing is like even in the drill bit, we have added about like 3 new drill bit steps. It's nothing but we are updating our standard libraries there. A drill point type button will be there. So earlier like V groove or something like flatted option we used to select in the type only. Now you can able to select that with the button option and the whole node. Okay, so whole node has been enhanced here. Whether something like right-handed thread, left-handed thread, or it's a V groove, is it? So drill points, it has been updated. Now let's see with an example video.
All creation capabilities in Inventor by incorporating the ISO 15786 standard, which includes a new drill point operation such as flat W, angle V, and angle Y. This allows users to design holes that are in strict compliance with this international standard, highlighting our dedication to aligning with the latest industry standards and serving the dynamic needs of the design community. Additionally, we provide users with the flexibility to modify and create custom holes tailored to specific machinery or tooling requirements, ensuring adaptability to a wide range of design scenarios. Furthermore, 2D hole nodes have been updated to reflect these new hole types. The pattern hole creation capability
And tolerances. Is it? So in the tolerances, I want to add it like a general notes, whether it has to be a text or it has to be a symbol or a parameter. Okay. And the same thing has to be reflected in my documentation. Earlier, no. So whatever the tolerance you give, that can be brought into like documentation. But in terms of like symbols and other things, we have like less collection. That whenever I create those things as a text, I want to bring that tolerances as a text note. Okay. So this has been enhanced. It's there from 2024, but if you take like 2025, this has been like drastically enhanced in the latest version. Assembly modeling. Let's see like what's new we have in the assembly modeling of Inventor Pro. Follow pattern. This option is there. So we saw the patterns in the sketch and in the part modeling. Now I want to do some component patterns. Okay. Follow pattern options was not there, or like earlier it was like selecting a path pattern. Okay. That has been enhanced. This placement, it will follow the pattern there. Like something I have in some irregular shapes. I want to follow that particular path. So that can be done with the assembly modeling pattern.
Let's look at the modeling improvements we've made to assembly modeling, including some much needed graphical updates, like highlighting the hidden sections of components. Inventor has enhanced its bolted connection functionality to now support assembly feature patterns, broadening the scope of design capabilities for users. This update allows for both normal assembly feature patterns and those within weldments to be utilized for bolted connections. It now accommodates all types of.
So what happens? It was not following the patterns. Now assume that I've created a pattern in the part modeling by using a path. Okay, it's something like a spline shapes or anything. But the entire thing, only like I have about like 9 components in that entire pattern. Now, if I select that pattern on this, what happens? So, what are the things we have in the pattern? So that thing is going to highlight it with my assembly pattern thing.
Assembly patterns. It now connections.
So it will follow the enter pattern. Now in this pattern, I have about like 5 holes. Directly, I can select all the 5 holes. Okay.
It now accommodates all types of assembly patterns, including rectangular and circular. And the update ensures the compatibility with both bi-hole and concentric placement methods, aligning with the functionality seen in part feature patterns, thereby maintaining a consistency and user experience across the different workspaces.
And really you can check if you're already installed with 2025, or else even if these options are really saving your productivity time, you can communicate with your internal management to update your versions to 2025. One more enhancement.
Let's look at the modeling improvements we've made to assembly modeling, including some much.
So replacing simplified command, so oriented minimum bounding cylinder. Minimum bounding cylinder, like I have a part, so what is the raw material needed to cover that particular area or to manufacture that? That is what like bounding cylinder says. Sometimes no rectangular bounding will be there or some square boundings or that based on the like shape, whether it has to be like circular or it has to be rectangular thing. So now in the assembly, no. So to avoid like uh, graphical issues and the performance, minimum bounding option with the cylindrical pattern, we have brought it. It means that something is in a gear shape. I don't want to see it entirely as a gear. It may take more time to get processed, but it's like a cylindrical body. I want to highlight with a cylinder. So now I have this image with, is it? So that has been enhanced with like boundary cylinder. So it's like a simplified model. It's not showing all the detail aspects of that. Okay. So we have introduced that also in the assembly.
Cylindrical envelope option has been added to create the newly appointed.
Now in the properties of this, we have that cylindrical option. Okay.
Oriented minimum bounding cylinder. This new feature allows for more precise.
Now I need something on a rectangular part. Something is a rectangle, I can show it as a rectangle.
Size model simplification by fitting a cylindrical envelope around components.
Or I need that part to be like bounded in a cylindrical shape. You can select the cylindrical option in this. The dropout menu. Okay.
Offering an alternative to the traditional rectangular prism. This enhancement is particularly beneficial for models requiring tighter tolerances, as it closely aligns with the original model's shape and size.
Even sometimes for the procurement team, so what should be the some raw material sizes to manufacture this? If I have all my manufacturing in-house, I can able to define this minimum bounding area by keeping some stock and other things for cleaning purpose. Okay.
Cylindrical
Color schemes, temporarily changing colors, high visualization and understanding with the visualization with the color things. Customizing the color schemes. Probably like I've not used most of the designer. They're using most into like color scheme. So whenever they're doing in the part model, they will highlight the any faces what they need based on their color requirement. But still we have these things automated in this color scheme.
Enhance our visualization capabilities with the introduction of a new separate color scene display. This can be toggled to various settings and also customized via the color scheme editor of any given in-canvas color scheme. Being a single designer in a 5,000 part assembly can sometimes feel as daunting as being in a 100,000 part assembly. So we've added the ability to toggle colors from a view, tab, or separate top-level assemblies, and then differentiate them between different types of components, significantly improving the clarity of these intricate assemblies. This tool is also compatible with section views and is directly related to efficient management and comprehension of your increasingly complex designs.
Means like all the solid bodies can be set it into one color, sheet metal into one color, frameworks into one color. Okay, this is what color schemes tells you. Like by seeing the model itself, it happens sometimes in like larger assembly. I want to highlight all the components which is done in sheet metal. But at the time, I can use this color scheme.
Enhance our vision.
Okay, representations. So replacing the source file. And when we create this IPJ files, now what happens, I have certain changes done on my model. It will get updated into my assembly as well as into my IPJ file. So representations, what do you do? And the part modeling or in the assembly, that has to be updated in presentation part. I mean to say like IPJ files. Okay. So that has been enhanced. Earlier, it was like bit lagging. And even in documentation, we have like enhancements. Like annotations, whatever you create, that can be brought into the documentation in the format of a text. I can insert that by using this insert button. Okay. So see a self-explanation video.
Starting with a heavy hitter is the ability to insert item numbers into drawing text. This new functionality enables dynamic updates to text that are linked to the parts list, as well as to balloons and notes within drawings, ensuring that your documentation remains consistent and accurate throughout your design process. A key component of this update is the addition of a new property type named Parts List Properties within the Format Text dialog. This means that when you're annotating drawings, you now have the ability to reference values directly from the parts list associated within the drawing. Inventor now supports background fill colors for dimensions in 2D drawings, providing a way to mask the area behind the dimension text for enhanced readability. This feature, which can be toggled on or off within the dimensions edit box, addresses the challenges faced when working with shaded views that limit the visibility of dimensions over complex.
See, masking is there, but I know that designer will ask for like whether this particular dimension has been inspected or not. So this option, no, you cannot use it for like inspection purpose in the documentation. Like this dimension has been, if you have like about like hundreds of dimensions in one documentation, you are checking like every particular dimension and whether it has been inspected. We cannot use this for that purpose. Now there is some background lines is disturbing at that time. I want to highlight only that particular text. I can do that background mask. Okay. Sometimes no, like extension lines and other things, it's looking like an object for me in the documentation that can be added. So merge cells in the table, that has been enhanced. Earlier also we had this, but whenever we merge it, no, it was highlighting with some disturbing background thing. So the graphical enhancement that has been done. And the revision cloud, whenever we used to mark up, no, so the scaling was quite difficult. Now I can able to directly scale that. So this is used for like markups or in the documentation. I don't want to see like dimension objects all as my objects. Is it? So that has been enhanced in this version. And the styles can able to sort with the styles. Revision tables can be brought into your styles. Surface textures, you can add it. Sort order in the bill of material. Like I want to sort with the material or with the serial number or with the certain things on the weightage that can be added in this. And cropping like automatic break lines. People, most of the times, no, people are addicted with AutoCAD because Inventor files can be directly brought into AutoCAD layout options to do a documentation. Because most of the manufacturing drawings are done in AutoCAD. Okay. So after observing these things, this was the requirement from the manufacturing drawing creators. So that has been enhanced in the drawing styles. Okay.
One is a much needed update to the parts list style with new sorting options, including auto sort on update. Users can now directly adjust sorting
Like through the item number, I want to sort this. Okay.
preferences and the auto update feature within their drawing styles. We've updated the revision table style to include an option for setting default revision index settings. Now, you can specify whether the revision index should follow an alpha or numeric format.
Yes, I want to highlight this, like whether it has to be alpha or a numeric. Okay. Revision A, B, C, D or revision 1, 2, 3. Because earlier we used to use like R1, R2, R3, but there was no alpha. We used to type that manually, is it? I can start that value from A, B, C, D. Okay.
Or numeric format by default. You're now able to hide extension lines of diameter and radius dimensions, enhancing clarity of your drawings. The option.
So this was one of the most voted thing till 2025. Like we want to hide this extensions lines. So it looks like the particular object is continuing there. Is it?
Enhancing clarity of your drawings. The option to hide extension lines and show all extension lines have been added to the context menu.
But still you need to replace the dimension lines till that object, okay?
One is a much needed
Interoperability, like linking or bringing third-party CAD files to Inventor and take it as a reference model, or bringing a Revit file to Inventor and taking some reference to create the mechanical models there. So that has been enhanced. Like larger data set, you want to bring it in fraction of a minute, you can do that. Multi-body assembly, any type of selections, AC properties panels like MEP, RFA, Revit families. Okay. So this is one of the useful things where an architect or architect design consultant, they use Inventor Pro. At that time, they want to take the reference of these things. That can be done, okay? Including like, so they use like some stat pro or some structural projects. They do an FES simulation and they want to bring the same data to Inventor to create the frameworks. Okay, because what they use in the third-party CAD software, like IFC files, it doesn't have all the supports and other things. Just they will finalize the sizes and the thickness there. And for like detailed fabrication drawing, they use Inventor Pro frameworks. At the time, you can bring that data. Okay, we call this data crossing as interoperability. Okay. So from version to version of Revit that has been enhanced, like larger data can be brought very easily into like Autodesk Inventor. And even if you want to add like BIM connector or BIM content environment from Inventor so that the data from Inventor you are transferring it to Revit, that has been very easily, you can do the stuff from the 2025 version. And like simplifying command, like bounding option is one thing, means like simplify command is something, nothing but we used to call it like shrink and wrap. That has been enhanced because an architect won't need all the manufacturing, whether the what is like XYZ space or any clamping, inlet and outlet thing. This is what they need is. Okay. So this will help in the data transfer. I have a self-explanation. This won't be useful for much of the designers. For few of the designers, this will be a very important tool.
In this section, we'll explore the advancements in interoperability within the Autodesk ecosystem, focusing on enhanced compatibility and seamless integration with other programs to facilitate smoother and more efficient workflows. Conveniently export RVT or RFA files to earlier versions of Revit as far back as 2023. This backward compatibility feature ensures smooth interoperability.
No, directly I can select like it has to be exported to Revit 2024. Okay.
Between different software versions and collaborative efforts within the design teams. You can also launch a specific version of install directly from the dialog within Inventor. This release of Inventor allows users to seamlessly import IFC files from Revit using any CAD technology. This feature ensures all the associated metadata is brought into Inventor without data loss. This offers a much more logical workflow between architectural and engineering domains, which for many of you is incredibly impactful. Additionally, new import options have been introduced, allowing users to choose between two options: importing lightweight mesh versions for visualization, or an extensive view of individual components and properties for detailed analysis. The new interactive UI has been implemented, featuring an in-canvas preview that enables users to include or exclude selections based on metadata, name, or geometry. Let's keep breaking down industry silos and use the right tools, no matter the given challenge.
So if you are really working with IFC files, so we have a solution for IFC. Okay, I think I'm done. If you have any queries, you can put it in Q&A. And this Q&A box will be open for next 10 minutes. If you have any queries, let me know. At least how was the session? Was it informatical? Or you can use few of these new features of 2025 into your day in, day out regular design workflow, especially on sheet metal. Hello, I'm going to repeat this. If you have any questions or you need a clarification, kindly post it in Q&A. Or something other than this, you are looking into some aspects which is not there in the new feature, but you want to know an inventory, you can post that also. So that we are going to consider your inquiries, then like we can able to have one-on-one discussion on this. Okay, I'm going to open the Q&A segment for another last 2 minutes. If I'm not getting any questions, we'll be winding up the session. Arsha, you want to speak? Okay. Okay, sorry. Bharadwaj, sir, did I got PPT from this? Then you want a PPT, we can able to share you the recorded session. Okay. And if you check like all these videos are there in YouTube. Okay. If you say like What's new in Inventor 2025? All the videos are already linked in YouTube. Just if you say like, what's new in Inventor 2025 official videos, you'll get it in the YouTube. Okay. The last minute, the Q&A will be open. If you have any queries, Barodar, I told you no. So we'll share you the recorded session or else because this is one of the corporate PPT, the soft copy of the PPT I cannot share you because it has more information in that which is not visible to you guys. Okay. But if you need how these features works, it's really in the YouTube channel. Okay. Manjunath, can we edit the published components? Yeah, you can able to edit the published components. That won't be a challenge. In nowadays, any dumb 3D model can be edited, is it? Until unless it is an STL file. Only the file we cannot edit is STL file. Is it? Any other file formats also you can edit it. But when you say it like publish as these components, like shrink and wrap to like some other .rfa files, it is having a dumb 3D model, okay? Or else you create like small parts in a part mine, then you are publishing it as individual components. That is also you can able to edit. Because anyway, that will be a data as a .ipt itself. I think I have addressed your question, Manjuna. Thank you, Manjuna. I think there are no more questions. Um, okay, guys, thanks for attending the session. Thanks for your valuable time. If you need still more information, you can write an email to us from which you got this webinar invitation. We are happy to help you guys. Okay. Or else further to this, if you need further clarification, also please you feel free to reach out to us. Hope that you enjoyed the session and it was an informative session for you. Thank you all. Have a nice day.